perhaps if I'd been speaking to you 4 months ago, we wouldn't have been able to forecast. Bangladesh. Actually a sort of shining story of South Asia on how it had tackled with some of its socioeconomic challenges and so on. And then you have a mass movement on the street, student-led, the government topples, the ousted prime minister is actually here in India, and nobody quite knows what's going to happen in Bangladesh next. There's an interim government, led by Muhammad Yunus. When you look at Bangladesh, what does it tell you about framing policy in the context of uncertainty?
Firstly, in the case of Bangladesh, it is tragic, the loss of lives that has happened. It's, people should feel safe in their countries, and this has been a very difficult time, and our sympathies are with all the victims. We have a program with Bangladesh, as you might know, and we remain committed to working very closely with Bangladesh. We're in discussions with the interim government. We will work with whichever government comes to power next. So we are there fully to support Bangladesh and its people. These kinds of developments happen around the world, and we see them in several other parts. It's too early for us to tell you exactly what the impact of this is going to be for the economy. It's something we're going to pay close attention to. In terms of spillovers to India, we see that as fairly small, even though there are some trade links that might get affected, but it's not a big spillover to the region. But that said, I think, again, countries around the world should anticipate that in a world where after economies have gone through the kinds of large shocks that they've experienced, again, I'm not speaking about Bangladesh, but I'm just stepping back and talking about countries more generally. We've seen many countries that have what we call scarring, which is that while they've recovered, they've just not fully returned to where they would have been in the absence of the pandemic. And that creates hardship. Governments have limited resources to deal with the problems. So these, that you can have unrest of many kinds. Again, not talking about Bangladesh specifically.